Let's get to some new developments on a deadly missile strike in Poland, striking panic of a possible direct confrontation between NATO and Russia. Now, while you were sleeping, President Biden told G7 and NATO allies that it was a Ukrainian air defense missile, not a Russian airstrike as initially feared. Just moments ago, NATO agreeing during an emergency meeting. Poland also calling the blast that killed 2 people along the border with Ukraine, quote, an unfortunate accident. Joe Khalil has the latest on this developing situation. Joe.
Yeah, Adrienne, and that was just confirmed minutes ago by the NATO Secretary General Hans Stoltenberg, saying that this missile that landed in Poland and killed 2 people was not a deliberate attack from Russia, but rather that it was a Ukrainian air defense missile that inadvertently ended up in Poland. We know this happened during what was an air onslaught from Russia coming into Ukraine. Ukraine was trying to defend its own area, its own territory with those defense air missiles when one of them ended up in Poland. So here is again, just moments ago, what Hans Stoltenberg from NATO said about this attack.
We have no indication that Russia is preparing offensive military actions against NATO. Our preliminary analysis suggests that the incident was likely caused by a Ukrainian air defense missile fired to defend Ukrainian territory against Russian cruise missile attacks.
So why is this important just beyond clarity here? Well, it basically now clears up the possibility that NATO as a whole was going to respond militarily to Russia. And that is part of the Article 5 Charter of NATO, and we're going to put it up for you so you can actually see the language here. And it basically says that an attack on one is an attack on all. Here you can see an armed attack against one or more NATO country in Europe or North America shall be considered an attack against all of them. What that requires is that the United States and other NATO allies would have to come to Poland's defense if, in fact, Russia deliberately attacked Poland, which, again, we now know is not the case. So that is going to allay some of the worst fears about how this could ramp up. But quickly, I do want to add that Hans Stoltenberg still says Russia ultimately bears responsibility here. It was their barrage of missiles on civilian targets in Ukraine that ultimately led to this. But again, not a deliberate attack from Russia on a NATO country. Guys.
Yeah, which is comforting, even though this is another tragedy, a casualty of war. Thank you so much, Joe. For more on this, we're joined.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.